Okay, continuing on where I left off with the Miotismon arc. I had to cut this review in 2 parts because this story arc is actually the longest as I know of the first season. And it's actually the most detailed one, and actually, to tell you the truth, it's actually the only story arc that I tolerate thus far, because they really put in effort into developing this, but it's still a giant piece of crap. As I can point out later that there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense along with the rest of this show.
This is just how it happened. Back then, a giant ball of fire destroyed the bridge. Something is definitely different. I remember the fire-breathing monster didn't fly. There had to be another one.
You're right, there were 2 monsters fighting, but they were different than these 2.
Yeah, it turns out that the reason they were all chosen was because of the incident they saw 4 years ago. Which makes no sense as we clearly see in the flashback and in the stupid movie that there are other kids there watching. So why them? Yeah, or maybe it was only them that actually knew it was there, or which the only reason that could explain this is that they were on some hallucinogenic drug and actually saw them fighting. While in the meantime everyone else thought it was a terrorist attack. Which that statement was eventually taken out of the dub after the 9/11 attacks, just to pinpoint that. Oh, and it was even a smart idea to just drop him off of Odaiba too, because they even tried to hitchhike for a ride.
You kids want a cab?
Yeah!
You got any money?
No.
Which most of this footage was actually cut out in the dub because they don't want to influence some retarded kid watching this to get in cars with strangers and get abducted. And they even cut out the scene with Matt hitchhiking where he actually draws the attention of one of those skanks from Jersey Shore to offer him a ride. Lady, you're sick, man! But by the way, not to lie, Matt is actually viewed as a very attractive character in the story. I mean, there's several Yayo fanfics by fangirls posting out all over the internet. But what makes this different is that he's supposed to be 11 years old. Get it? That's just wrong. I mean, there's several fan art and fanfics where he's some sex symbol. I mean, you can look it up on fanfiction.net and DeviantArt. But yet they even try to make him look older and stuff, though. But yet they incorporate juvenile fetishism into the fics that are supposed to be taking place within this season. He's 11! What is with you sick girls? Yeah, those are probably the same freaky girls that, draw their own gross hentai doujinshi online. Which I have always, been unfortunate enough to run into. If you idiots are still making this fan-made porn on this subject matter or any other anime, please stop! And so about that earlier, they actually do make it home, and we actually find out that Matt and TK's divorced parents, they live on entirely opposite sides of town. But they run into some 2 obnoxious hooligans that I've actually made fun of on my top 10 stupidest Digimon moments, if you actually recall about that. So then Miotismon is planning to take siege of the city to find the 8th child. One of his assistants, Wizardmon, is also working with Gatomon to find the 8th child, but then somehow Wizardmon betrays them, and Miotismon, for some reason, a lot of kids watching this actually liked this character, but he doesn't bother me that much. But Wizardmon is okay, so to speak. I mean, at least he's nothing compared to Waymon. Ugh. The kids later find out that the 8th child is actually Kari, Tai's younger sister. With the next morning being entirely filled with non-threatening ghosts covered in sheets trying to round up families in the apartment and holding them hostage in a convention center, just so they can find the 8th child. I can point out several things about this sequence that doesn't make any sense. One, if Izzy applied the digital barrier, why didn't it cover the entire apartment? Why does Miotismon have multiple tags and crests for the 8th child if he doesn't even know who he or she is? Why does fog mess up communications when they're not even at an airport? And why does Sora need to play a tape recorder of backwards chanting gibberish to make the Bakuman fall down so people can escape? Why? Please, someone tell me why!
What a refreshingly helpful attitude. It's a deal.
Oh, I'm off my bipolar depression pills. I talk like this. So Kari actually ends up sacrificing herself to be taken by Phantomon.
I'm ready. Hurry, man, stop her!
No, Kari! You don't know what you're doing!
Then when they later find Kari and confront Miotismon, he actually tries to throw a blast at her and
Smack!
And ends up getting smacked right dab and actually dies. Right dab in the center and actually dies. Yes, you heard right. He dies, so he's gone for good this time. Because because remember when I ranted on the Digimon actually being reborn after they died as little babies? Well, that's because it only works in the digital world, but since he died in the real world, he has no place to go, and so he's gone for good. Now, it was kind of a heartbreaking scene for many kids at the time. And we actually do see his phantom later on in Season 2, but we'll get to that later. But then when they defeat Miotismon, apparently, they learn that he's apparently not gone for good, as they receive a message from Genai that Miotismon will basically turn into like his godlike form or something at like the 6th hour of the 6th minute of the 6th second, 666. Sound familiar?
Often in dreams, numbers appear upside down and backwards. So 666 becomes 999, like in 1999, the year of his return.
Okay, so it's probably 6 o'clock and 6 minutes? Yeah. Yeah, this is actually based on a fucking prophecy that they actually have about how he will appear and the only way to actually defeat him. Are you kidding? Why do you even have to follow a fucking prophecy if it hasn't even happened yet? I mean, that seriously breaks the laws of cause and effect. How do you know something will happen if it hasn't even happened yet? And how do you know it's supposed to happen? If you want things to happen a certain way, you have to plan it and actually make it happen. Don't listen to some stupid fucking story. The only way to actually defeat them is, get this,
Angels will shoot arrows of hope and light at the loved ones of those they have been sent to protect. And a miracle will happen.
To explain, say I'm kind of like a guardian angel. Whose guardian angel am I? Yours. And who do you love the most?
I was getting to that. My mom and dad, obviously.
Exactly. But TK and Kari not only have moms and dads, they have something else too. They have brothers. In a word, bingo!
That's right. The arrows have to be shot into the backs of loved ones in order for them to evolve further in order to defeat Venom Miotismon, who does appear. Yeah, so Venom Miotismon is this giant blonde spider monster who has an extra face where his balls should be. You know what's the really perverted thing about this? That's the only way to defeat him, through his crotch face. Ugh! Not kidding. His weak spot is in his crotch. So when Patamon and Gatomon evolve into the angels that struck down Matt and Tai without even killing them, they are now able to do it through Venom Miotismon. And when they do defeat him, the same thing happens to him as it does with Wizardmon's death.
No! Not into the pit! It burns!
Thus destroying him once and for all. But wait! Is it over yet? or not. Yeah, some weird shit appears in the sky about some landscapes and black skies, interfering with a lot of air travel. And so they realize that unusual stuff is going on in the digital world, so they have to actually go back. And so this wraps up the Miotismon arc on one of the hilariously, atrociously badly acted, badly animated, and badly voice acted nonsensical anime series to ever come in the United States. Even though it was mediocre in Japan, but they fucked it up so much in the States that it became such a bad medium here. This is Marlo Nama, signing off. It makes no sense! The writers don't know what they're doing! Meomies! I want to run away, okay? I want to run away.
Tonight is the night. The empowering wind that was breath from despise. Rules me my weakness, I saw within in this sight. Quieting